Arenas is potentially coming back in 12 to 24 months. That's a very non-committal answer, but hey, it's possible it's coming back, which I'm excited for. Zens and configs have been removed from the game, so Arenas, if done well, has the chance to enter a golden age. It could easily be the best and competitive mode we have in this game. Here is how I would make that happen if I had to say. Basically, anybody who's ever played Arenas knows these already. First and foremost, why was there no LTMs in Arenas? I personally loved Arenas from day one, but we needed more of a casual experience, something fun and new to shake up the game. Your options are pretty much sweat and ranked or sweat and ranked with no rewards, pubs. If you wanted a fun casual experience where you can turn your brain off, you were kind of out of luck. For a small and passionate part of the community, that's what got them hooked on the Arenas, the full-time competitiveness, but for a lot of players, the majority of players, it just was not their thing. We needed fun ways to play Arenas so badly, and I can think of so many right away. Pistols only, no zones, shotgun snipers, legend and weapon bans, no healers, format changes like Kraber only, like so many options, and LTMs for whatever reason just were not a thing. Next is a better ranked experience. The limiting ranked experience was a big reason why players dropped Arenas because it oftentimes was not fulfilling. The matchmaking in ranked was pretty bad, so that was difficult to contend with, but players often got to a point where for wins they would get plus 12s and they were losing plus 20 points every time they lost. Both of those factors coming together made the solo queue experience pretty miserable as well. To make ranked the best possible version of itself, I would get better matchmaking, including probably rank difference minimums are probably needed. There's no situation where silver players should ever be playing with or fighting against diamond or higher players. Often felt like it was 3-stack preds against you and your silver buddies in ranked. So definitely need to improve that. And I would love to see them experience with some sort of performance-based refund. Losing sucks, especially when you're solo queuing, because a lot of times it doesn't feel like that was necessarily your fault. So I would love to see a way to refund points if you were the most productive player. If you were the best player on your team or even in the entire lobby, you should definitely be rewarded for that. That would help good players climb to the rank a lot faster. And this one's obvious, but we need a better anti-cheat in Arenas. Arenas was a testing ground for cheaters and spammers, and a dedicated anti-cheat team that focuses exclusively on Arenas would not only make Arenas really, really good, but it would also clean up the BR, I guarantee it. Like I mentioned, Zens and configs are gone, so there is a massive opportunity to get more cheaters out of this game if Arenas has a dedicated anti-cheat team. And then weekly balance changes are something that's needed if we want to bring Arenas to its potential. One of my favorite things about Arenas was it was so dynamic and the meta was almost alive. You could get so many little tiny advantages if you're paying attention, but Respawn was oftentimes really slow to patch those out. Respawn just being slow led to a lot of unhealthy metas that thrived for way longer than they should have. Respawn more than likely has the data to make informed changes, but they chose not to for whatever reason. Imagine, for example, there's stats over 10 days that says players have been buying the flatline like crazy, and not only has it been getting them wins, it's getting them kills, it's getting them damage, it's doing all the things that show it's really, really good. So players are buying it more. That data could suggest that the flatline is maybe a little bit too cheap, and a price adjustment would help bring it a little bit down in terms of dominance. If it was cheap, it would help players get an upgrade when maybe they shouldn't, or maybe they're getting extra heals with the money they save. Seeing weekly price changes and meta changes would be super cool. Another balance change that I think would make the mode a lot better is if there was just no hop-ups, or if hop-ups should be in the game, make them way more expensive than they were. In the contained experience of Arenas, hop-ups were a lot more strong than in BR, and sometimes they were the exact reason why a gun dominated for so long. And another big problem about balance changes is Respawn basically gave up on the mode. From Season 12 to the end of Season 16 when Respawn removed Arenas, there's almost no changes made to the game. That cannot happen in a mode like this that's so dynamic, in my opinion. It's changing every single day, and to me, a mode like this needs frequent changes if it's going to be successful. Also, why was there no pro scene in this mode? To me, Arenas had the highest skill expression in the entire game. So many factors of RNG were removed due to the format, and the better team won nearly every single time, or at least had a really good opportunity to make a difference. To see the best players who were not cheating face off against each other with a shoutcaster screaming over the gameplay would be so insane. I think very, very few people understand how cool that would be. Arenas enjoyers know, but matches would be so intense and every single shot would be meaningful. We never really got to see any of this. There's so few tournaments, and pros really only use the mode to settle beef privately. Arenas failed because it was left to wither, not because it was a bad mode. If it's balanced correctly, it could be one of the best modes in the game, and that's how I do it. Hit the like button if you are excited about the return of Arenas in Apex, and hit the subscribe button if you want to see more content about Season 20. Hope you guys enjoyed.